Welcome schools to the JAMS, NAPPP, and OPMP Online International Peer Mediation Tournament, sponsored by the JAMS Foundation and managed by the National Association of Peer Program Professionals. This is the second year of our tournament, and we are really excited to have you join our tournament this year. In this video, you will receive the official orientation to the tournament, and you will determine if your school wishes to participate in this challenge. The goals of this tournament are to allow peer mediators to practice their skills in a friendly competition with other students around the world. A second goal is to encourage your peer mediators to continue to grow their resolution skills and showcase these skills during the competition. Again, we are so excited to have you, and now I would like to introduce our team to you. Our team is comprised of a group of conflict professionals from the United States and South America. We are educators, mediators, professors, attorneys, and therapists who specialize in conflict resolution. For this tournament, I am your coordinator. My name is Cynthia Morton, and I will be supporting you during the tournament. Now, you may have already decided to compete at the tournament, which is great, but you may be trying to decide if you want to compete as a school. The purpose of this orientation is to inform you about the tournament rules and the format of the tournament. Completing this orientation by February 1st of 2025 is imperative to getting started in the tournament process. Once you have viewed the orientation, each coordinator or advisor will then submit an application to participate in the tournament. This application can be found in the tournament handbook on our website. Once your school applies for the tournament, your school coordinator will receive an acceptance email and an invoice for our entry fee. The team entry fee is $40. Now, for schools that may be struggling with this additional expense, you can apply for a partial or full scholarship based on your school's financial need. The invoice must be paid before you begin the tournament round number 1. The great news about participating in an online tournament is that it's online and you don't have to travel anywhere. Your team can participate at any desired location, whether it's at school, it's in the evening at your students' homes, on any format, Teams, Zoom, etc. All you have to have is a camera and an online platform that records your team's mediation. We tried to make the structure of the tournament simple. It is structured like a basketball tournament. Also, middle school teams compete against other middle school teams, and high school teams compete against other high school teams. If your team wins round 1, you will then go to round 2, which we call the semifinals. And if your team wins round 2, the team then goes on to the final round, which is round number 3. So that you know ahead of time, there are a total of 3 rounds. Round 1 is the preliminary round, it's the biggest round. Round 2 is the semifinals, and then round 3 is the finals. Each team will be notified if they make it to the next round via email. Let's talk about the length of the mediation. Each mediation should last no longer than 45 minutes, and then following the mediation, your judges will ask your team 2 reflection questions, which we'll talk about later. So let's get the tournament on your calendar. The tournament officially begins on February 1st, 2025, and ends on May 31st, 2025. We have extended the date of the tournament for 2025 by a month. So now let's review the dates for each round. Between each round, there is a period of 3 days where we will judge your mediation video and then send your coordinator an email indicating if you have progress to the next round, or if your team will stop with that round. So let's review these dates. Round 1 officially begins February 1st and ends March 15th. And that is the time in which your invoice must be paid. The last time that you can participate to send in a video for your mediation is by the March 15th date. That is the last day to submit round 1 video. There are 3 days between round 1 and round 2. Round 2 begins March 19th and ends April 20th. And the last day to submit your mediation video is April 20th. The last round is round 3, of course, and that will be between April 24th and May 31st, which is the last day to submit the mediation video. So the good news is that scheduling your mediations are really simple. Once you have planned with your mediators, you will confirm with the OPMP team the projected date of your mediation. Remember, it is imperative that you do not go over the round deadline. Once you schedule the date of your mediation, you will then send a recording of the mediation to the OPMP coordinator for judging. Let's review each round. For round 1, once your invoice is paid or you're approved for a scholarship, you can immediately begin your participation. Once round 1 is complete and your video is received, your video will be sent to your judge. A score will be provided with notification if your team will advance to round 2. Also, you will receive mediation feedback from your judge to make improvements for this year or maybe for next year's tournament. If your mediation team is eligible for round 2, an email will be sent to the coordinator who will have a 3-day window to schedule your team's second mediation date. Remember, your team will be automatically eliminated if you do not meet the tournament time frame. Scores from the second mediation will be posted following the same rules and time frame as round 1. If your mediation team makes it to round 3, or the finals, your coordinator must schedule the mediation within 1 week of your confirmation email. The winner from each division, high school and middle school, will be announced by June 15th. Remember, all mediations will be recorded and sent to the online peer mediation platform coordinator by the deadline specified in the tournament handbook. I would like to take a minute just to discuss disqualification and how this can happen. There are several reasons why a team would be disqualified. Number 1, failure to submit your application, failure to complete the tournament acceptance email, failure to pay an invoice, failure to respond to email correspondences, and then failure to meet tournament deadlines. Now I want to review some of the things the online peer mediation judges will be looking for from your mediators. Each mediation team must demonstrate the following skills in every mediation. First of all, there has to be an opening statement, which guidance is provided in the tournament handbook. Your team must demonstrate a caucus or a time where the disputants are put into a breakout room because of conflict escalation, high emotions, emotional shutdowns, or there's an impasse, which means the mediation is just not moving. Also, cooperation must be exhibited between the mediators, showing that they can work together. For instance, one mediator is not dominating while the other mediator is passive. In addition, we would like to see that your mediators are actively participating in the storytelling phase, brainstorming and evaluating options, agreement writing, and a closing statement. These are the elements that must be exhibited in every mediation. The tournament abides by the problem-solving format of mediation, and a script will be provided to all teams. Again, this script is found in the tournament handbook. In every acceptance email indicating if you are advancing to the next round, a mediation scenario will be provided prior to each scheduled mediation. Therefore, every team will be aware of the conflict that will be mediated in each round. The online peer mediation team has a contingency for a tie. In the case of a tie, a mediation scenario with additional information will be given to the team. The team will be expected to answer how they would handle the additional information presented in the situation. This response will be submitted following the mediation round. This is optional as teams do not have to submit the tiebreaker, but it would be great for your team to do this in case there is a tie. Let's review scoring. Teams will be scored in 7 areas. These areas include the opening statement, where each mediator must participate, the storytelling phase, which is getting to the real conflict, identifying positions and interests of each disputant, the brainstorming phase where you will evaluate options, the writing of the agreement, demonstrating cooperation between the mediators, and then the self-reflection. The 6 mediation skill categories will receive 1 to 3 points with a maximum total of 18 points in each skill, and then the cooperation and self-reflection receive 1 to 5 points or a total of 10 maximum points between the 2 categories. A rubric will be sent to you with this information, and this rubric is also provided to the judges. Let's review the suggested timeline for the mediation. This is demonstrated in this graphic. An opening statement should last between 5 to 7 minutes, ground rules 1 to 3 minutes, the storytelling phase is the largest area of time, 15 to 20 minutes, brainstorming 5 to 7 minutes, agreement writing 3 to 5 minutes, and then the closing statement should last about 1 to 3 minutes, a total of 45 minutes. Following the mediation, your peer mediators will answer 2 self-reflection questions. The 2 questions are as follows. If you had to do the mediation over again, what would you do the same and what would your team do differently? The second question is, what were your strengths and weaknesses as a peer mediation team? These 2 questions allow the judges to go in more detail about what went well and maybe what didn't go so well with the mediation. The great news is that help is provided for all peer mediation teams. All teams will be provided the names and email addresses of an OPMP coach. This is optional but a great resource. A team may utilize a coach during any round of mediation before the mediation actually occurs. Of course, coaches cannot coach you during a mediation session, but they can coach you before the mediation session. For example, let's say your team has never done a caucus and you need help with that. We can provide technical support or we can provide support to show you how to conduct that caucus. Judges will be experienced mediators and familiar with the problem-solving approach to mediation. Your judge will score your team independently of any other judge. Judges will be provided all the same information provided to the mediation teams. Now, students may not at any time communicate with the judges until their ballots have been submitted. Following the tournament or the completion of the round, your judge may provide feedback to your team. So that means you can also request a meeting with your judge to get feedback to help you improve for the next round. Also, if you progress to another round, you may not have the same peer mediation judge. After the final mediation round is completed, I will, as the OPMP tournament coordinator, post the winner of the OPMP peer mediation tournament on our website by 5 p.m. the day following the completion of judging. Also, I will personally call the team advisor and inform the team advisor if your mediation team has won the tournament. Also, second and third place winners will be listed on the OPMP website as well. Remember, finalists will be announced on June the 15th. If your team makes it to round 3, a list of prizes will be provided to each team. So what are some of the prizes? Well, of course, there'll be bragging rights, being the first place winner, and a picture of your team and advisor will be posted on the front of our OPMP website for everyone to see. Also, your team will be refunded your entry fee if that team makes it to first place. Your team will also receive a certificate suitable for framing signed by our president, Dr. Judy Tyndall, stating that your team placed first in the OPMP Peer Mediation Tournament. Second and third place winners will also receive tournaments signed by Dr. Tyndall. First place teams will receive a free entry fee if they choose to participate in the OPMP tournament the following year. Mediators from the first place team will be given the opportunity to co-judge with one of the OPMP judges for the team the following year. So we also will have some cash prizes, but we will make those announcements further on in the tournament itself. So, what are your next steps? If you're still not sure, then complete the interest form. The interest form will have one of our team members to contact you and talk to you more about the tournament. But if you're ready to enter, go ahead and complete the application. Once you complete the application, in February, look for that acceptance email that will contain your peer mediation script, the peer mediation scenario, your invoice or scholarship notification, contact information of coaches, and your OPMP judge by February the 1st. Once you're accepted, remember to pay any outstanding balances and then schedule and complete your first mediation by the deadline of March the 15th. Again, following this orientation, if you still have questions, please complete the interest form on our website. This interest form will be found on the online peer mediation website, and it will go directly to me, and we will reach out to you for help and assistance. On behalf of our team, we would like to thank you for considering participating in our second annual peer mediation tournament. We wish you all the best, and we can't wait to see what you accomplish.